Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm always grateful for each and every one of you. Now, make sure you subscribe to that button in the corner in order to get video and content. Now, for some of you, you've already started to watch my podcast. It's back up and running. There's interviews up, and there's a lot more coming. Make sure you check it out. It's very exciting. So, we are also in Saturn retrograde right now. So I'm going to talk about what's coming up this week. What can we expect the 2nd of August to the 7th of August? This is a super huge, powerful time. We are in pre-eclipse season that started on the 30th of July. We also are in Saturn retrograde. God be with us. This is where you have to really, really keep it real. It's so karmic. There's a lot of truth coming out. You're going to be facing karma. There's a lot of frauds and scams that are going to be exposed, secrets exposed. Like, this is a really, really karmic time. We all have lessons to learn and such. However, for the people that have been really trying to hurt people, manipulate, take advantage of, that has like frauded people, like all of those really bad negative things are going to be exposed even more, especially right now during this period with Saturn retrograde. Like, that is going to continue on for quite some time. So we also have Chiron energy, which is all about healing. That just continues on. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, it's always around. So when you're healing from situations, when those memories sneak up, which it's going to happen again this week, just take time for you, release, really pay attention to what you're being shown. Take time out for you. Healing is a long process. The bigger, the trauma, the tragedy, the pain that you've experienced, the longer it's going to take. So you might even find that once upon a time ago, a long time ago, certain memories sneak up. And in your dreams, you're going to be shown even more. So with this pre-eclipse season, it's going to take you back to the August 2008, for those of you who can remember. So what happened during August 2008, especially when it's something more major, like a death or marriage or, like a birth of a child, like something more major like that. You could be seeing similar situations right now. Don't panic. However, you will see similar situations. So if you can remember, look back during that time, what was I doing? What was happening? So when you're seeing similar situations coming up, look back onto what did I learn from that time? I'm going to handle the situation different now. That's all about lessons and evolution and growth and soul transformation and quantum leaps and so on. So some of you might be like, oh, I don't remember what I was doing yesterday, for God's sakes. How am I supposed to remember what was going on back then? I get it. I get it. So I'm just saying that is going to happen throughout the entire eclipse season. So we are moving into a Lionsgate portal on the 8th of August. Like, holy smokes. This is a time where you truly, truly want to take advantage and resolve things now. Because when that eclipse comes in, expect the unexpected, like, oh my God, that eclipse will remove people out of your life, situations, sudden jobs can end. It just literally removes things, and you're like, oh, sudden endings. However, it's a super powerful time for huge opportunities. So, I remember last year during this time, with the eclipse, like, oh my God, I had a huge opportunity coming in, television job, offering everything. And I'm like, oh my God, they wanted to move me to the right location that I wanted to move to. Everything was right there. And I said no because that's when I was going through my skin cancer and stuff was going on. So big opportunities very well could be coming back. New big opportunities could be coming up. All kinds of things can happen. So it can go like, oh my God, this is so amazing. That Saturn retrograde could bring rewards, karmic rewards for you. So karma can be good karma or bad karma. So I'm just saying, if you've been frauding people, scamming people, like lying to people, all of those kinds of things, it's going to be showing. It is going to be showing. Like even that incident I was telling you about, that like, oh my God, shocking news from me with like a whole big group. Oh my God. Like more and more, it's literally all over the internet. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm not going to say who, of course, or what's going on. No, no. But even the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, like, oh my God, oh my God. Right. So that things like that are going to come up more and more and more and more, like scams, like the truth, all of these things, but in a really, really big way, huge truth exposed, majorly. So scams, especially, be very careful, you guys. I've been warning about investing for quite some time. Um, lots of things. So I'm not going to go into lots of details with that. People are like, why don't you do like huge predictions and go into dirty, dirty details about so many things? Yes, I can see all of that. However, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I could have a lot of huge views on my channel. However, what happens is that kind of attention with dark energy, negative energy, power and greed and all of that, I could get slammed with nonstop negative, threatening messages. No, thank you. So I try to keep my channel very positive, uplifting, and light, and so on for so many reasons. However, I'm just saying. So this is the time, you guys, seriously, take advantage of this now. Whatever really needs to get dealt with and resolved, just try to get this done now. You know what I mean? There's always stuff we're battling with. There's always stuff that are hard that we're challenged with. And so I get it. We all go through situations, and I just want to extend my heart and condolences to Parker, that missing boy here in Calgary that was found, of course, deceased, passed on. Our city and community really came together, and it's so sad of the events that happened. I got involved with it a little, sending my insights and, on the police site, and just someone else I was connecting with here, go look this and here. But, it's really hard on me. Yes, I've worked with missing cases before and such like that, but it's so painful and difficult. Because you see everything, So I put a little post up on Instagram and Facebook, about that. But it's never easy to lose someone we love, especially a child. So, I just want to just say thank you to the Calgary Police Force and everybody, of course, that was searching and looking, and our prayers and everything like that. It's just sad. And he got found during, like the new moon time and solar flares and solar storms. I'm just saying. So to send out a little bit more prayers to Parker's family during this time right now. So this is a time, as I mentioned, we still have that Chiron healing that's going to continue on. We are moving closer to that Leo solar eclipse new moon that's coming in on the 12th, because the pre-eclipse ends on the 12th of August, which is my birthday, by the way. And then we move into the official huge life-changing eclipse season. I'll talk about that in the next video, of course, right? So let's take advantage of this right now and talk about the 2nd and the 3rd of August. This is the time, as I mentioned, you're still going to be continuing to heal from past situations. That Chiron energy. we're going to start making certain big more changes, even start writing it down. I'm starting something new myself again. I'm always doing that, right? You know, in different ways. None of us are perfect. Don't be hard on yourself. Take things one day away. You might find that there's a little more reunions right now. Maybe some of you are getting away for the August long weekend, reunions, you know, seeing family and friends and such. You're going to want to feel more liberation during this time with less restrictions. You know, we get restricted with so many things. We're just checking a little Valentino here. So I just don't want him chewing on a wire. Right. So he's into something right now. I can see it, but it's okay. Right. So this is a time when you're not going to want to be restricted. You're going to be like, I can't deal with this anymore. Yes, of course. The eclipse, that pre-eclipse, is showing you this and this and that. Pay attention, you guys, one step at a time. So you're going to find that you're going to have more courage to make certain changes right now. Thank God, because we're in Leo season. Leos have more courage, you know, they're very courageous and bold and all of that. But it's also time to let go, release, and have fun. You know, yes, of course. Also, look back onto June 1st this year. You very well could be seeing results right now with something you were working on, whatever it is. You know, projects take time. Long-term goals right now are more prominent than short-term goals. Make short-term goals continue with your goals. Of course, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to do this or I want to add that on. So I'll add it on to my vision board with goals and all of that. You know, add it on. What am I going to do? I don't know. You know, you got to balance things out. You know, some of us are very busy with our families and children and work and this and that. Of course, you know, I'm always multitasking myself, for those of you who know me. So now 4th and 5th of August, emotional time, you know, memories, as I talked about before, could be sneaking up on you, resurfacing. Don't run. Don't run from it, for goodness sakes. You know, take time out for you, reflect. When you're going through healing, you know, I always say I'd wear sunglasses out because you could get breakdown at any time or memories just all of a sudden get very teary-eyed just like that. So when you're going through that process, wear sunglasses, bring some tissues with you, you know. So you're going to start wrapping up past situations as well, you know, that you've been working on. Like I said, June 1st, that certain situations you're working on, which could have been anything, you're going to see those results now for the good or the bad. So if you started something back then and you're like, you didn't complete it, you're also going to see those results of being not completed, right? So you're also going to see who and what no longer connects with you, which can be a little sad, you know, for many reasons. Well, I used to be able to do this and all of these things, but I'm just not into it anymore. I've changed so much. I've evolved, I've growth. Yes, that's evolution, that's growth. We have soul contracts with everybody. You know, our soul contracts can be for a long time or a short time, all of that. Once upon a time, this was this. Once upon a time, this is now ended. So, you know, you've grown, it's growth, which is really good. You know, some people we can stay stuck and they're too scared to move forward and stuff. Don't judge them. Don't ever judge anybody. You know, like, thank God the Mercury retrograde is over, right? That officially, that post shadow, we're still in that post shadow to the 7th, by the way. But that Mercury retrograde, I seriously, every day I was getting like, you know, people very emotional, like, oh my God, you know, argumental, you know, rah. Even myself, I was like that, right? So that's the retrograde, miscommunication, communication issues, technical issues, things can get lost, you know, we can put wrong things, we can send the wrong email, we can say the wrong words, like all of those things. It's just, it can be very chaotic, but thank God it's over with now. Like, oh my God, but you know, we are still in that energy, so be a little careful, you guys. Like I even had a last minute dental situation last week. And for those of you who know me, you know that I don't go near the dentist. He's a very nice person. Yes, absolutely. However, I had no choice and I had to deal with it. And I'm like, take advantage of Mercury retrograde, go deal with it. So I go down there and I'm like, okay. And then they took x-rays and everything. And they're like, Jeni, my dentist comes in, you don't need no root canal or any, like, oh. And by the way, that was the day of miracles too, by the way. That's why I do these videos, because every day works with you. He goes, no, no, all you just need is this. Here you go. And I'm like, what? That's what? What? That's the first time ever that happened. And I'm like, what just happened today? And then I'm like, oh, it was a day of miracles. But we have to face things. You know what I mean? We can't leave it, because I was leaving it. I'm like, oh, it'll just go away. It'll just go away. It'll just go away. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to deal with this now. Deal with it in Mercury retrograde, health issues. Of course, I go over all of those things, your pets as well. So the 6th and the 7th of August now, really pay attention, because you are going to see bigger signs. I always ask spirit, give me really big physical signs with something. I channel and connect 24/7 with the spirit world. I'm clairvoyant. So I get messages 24/7, like at any given time. So this is the day to ask for big signs. You're going to see it. You have to really look at that. Some people are like, oh my God, I'm not ready to deal with that. Oh my God. But right now, because we are in pre-eclipse season, I would highly, highly, highly recommend and suggest you deal with it. If I can run to the dentist, which is a big fear for me, you can deal with things as well. Just, one step at a time, one step at a time. So you could be feeling a little tired during this time, a little exhausted. A lot of things have been going on and such like that. We're like, oh, like don't rush things. So being by the water right now would be very therapeutic, like holiday season. A lot of people can get away. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get away. God, I sure need to get away, but I'm just financially not able to get away. So if you can go by a lake, if you can go by the ocean and just sit back and just take it all in, just it's very healing. It's so very healing. Waters are emotions. You're going to see a lot. You're going to feel a lot. You can go swimming, go swimming. So your nervous system can feel a little out of whack. So this is why you need to be working on getting grounded these days. Swimming, if you have a pool, if you're able to do all these kinds of things, I would highly recommend that. Even go for nature walks, all of those things, do what it takes, turn your phone off, just be like, you know what, I just cannot. I just take time out, whatever way humanly possible, because you're going to want to be setting stronger boundaries, especially during this eclipse season as well. You're going to find that, wow, I really need to set stronger boundaries right now. You're going to also feel even more as we moving towards the 12th of August. I don't know, I can feel change somehow. I'm not sure exactly what direction or what is taking place, but I can feel a change somehow. Your soul is like that inner GPS intuition. You can feel when certain things are happening. Don't force it, don't push it. Pay attention to what your intuition is telling you, what it's showing you, what direction it's taking you towards. Waterfront property. I'm just hearing for someone, speaking of water, if you're considering booking or a holiday or a vacation place, waterfront property, do it. If you're, of course, financially able to do it. If you're like, we have that real pull to book waterfront property, pay attention, of course. Be a little cautious around the oceans. Waters are rising and all kinds of things happen and are going to happen. Like last year I went and booked actually waterfront property myself. I had assignments and all kinds of things were going on. I had to go out there and stuff. Really grateful for that experience. Gosh, I wished I was there right now. I can sure tell you that. But, You know what I mean? Write things down. Things come together at the right timing. You know, work towards your goals. Dreams can happen. You know what I mean? We can work towards something and manifest. Manifesting is super high right now during this whole eclipse season. You know, and we can manifest lots of things. And then we can be like, you know, I thought I wanted that, but I changed my mind when it came. That happens. But at least you know what, that's not what I want anymore. That's I thought I wanted that, but I just don't. That happens. That happens. But you will see clearly how you can manifest certain situations, right? You know, I just want to make sure my puppy's all taken care of this year with getting, you know, be getting neutered. I have to wait in the contract, the breeder's contract, until his birthday on the 28th of November to get him neutered, or else I would have got him neutered before. So I just want to make sure all of his needs are taken care of first this year as well, before I venture off later next year into something that I'm looking at doing. So anyways, hang in there, you guys. Hang in there. Like seriously, you know, always book a clairvoyant reading with me. And I'm just going to pull a couple of cards. I don't use cards, no, when I'm doing readings. No, I don't. I'm clairvoyant. I never know what messages are going to come through at any given time. You know, seriously, I never do. All of a sudden, be like, oh, wait a minute, and I'll be going on and on and on and on. You guys know me who've had readings with me before. I've had so many clients from like a long time ago coming back all of a sudden. You know, it's just interesting. So now let's just pull a card collectively. I don't know if you guys like the cards or connect with the cards I'm pulling. Make some comments, let me know, or else I'm not going to know. I might just stop it all together. So let's just have a little chat with the animal kingdom. I'm also an animal communicator. What is the message from our animal kingdom from the 2nd to the 7th? Really watch and monitor your animals right now too, especially during these huge animal, the eclipse time, I should say. It affects your animals more because they're more sensitive. 2nd to the 7th. That Chloe. I don't know why I'm hearing the name Chloe. Chloe Kardashian. I don't know. Could be another Chloe. August 2nd to the 7th. The fly. You have such a big heart. Let yourself in. This is so cool, actually. Like, oh my God, I just saw something. So, can you see his eye? Look at my ring. Look at my ring. I was very drawn to this ring to wear today. I have a lot of different crystals and jewelry, but look at his eye. Look at that. Like, look at my ring and look at his eye. Can you see that? Like, look at that. It looks exactly like my ring. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, I call animals, like even a fly, I call it an animal. You know, yes, it's an insect, but an alligator, I'll call it an animal. A whale, I'll call it an animal. Like all animals, species, interspecies, all of that is all intertwined with the animal kingdom. So, you know, there's different messages all the time, you know. So really listen and pay attention to that, you know, with our animals. Flies are flies, you know, but if you have some kind of a specific animal or species or whatever that stands out more, pay attention to that. Like really pay attention to that. Like if I had a fly land on there right now and it wasn't moving, I'd be like, okay, let's have a chat. What's your message? What's your message for me? You know, you can't force it. Take the fly and shake him by the neck. I'm just saying, right? So I also grab my past life cards because there are still people from the past coming back. There could be karmic endings with twin flames, karmic relationships as well. Yes, I do past life Akashic record. There's actually a video here that I did with my client Thomas, who's been with me for many years, a past life reading. I did a little short reel on it, and I also put a little short reel on Instagram. I've been putting up a little more short reels myself on Instagram. So if you watch the video, it's under Soul to Soul Connections, Jeni Ji. You'll see it, past life reading. Check it out. Check it out. It'll give you some kind of a little insight I don't give, of course, Thomas, all of my full insights on the video because it's private and personal. But I did give out some information, of course, that I thought would have been okay. So my readings are strictly confidential, 100%. So you never have to worry about that. So let's have a little chat the 2nd and to the 7th of August. What's the message for collectively for the spirit world? I have the background here with Mount Everest as well, because Mount Everest, when you're climbing mountains, that's a challenging mountain to climb. I really connect with this mountain. Once upon a time ago, another lifetime. I'm like, Everest, that's my mountain. And somebody said, he said, Jeni, you can't claim that mountain as your mountain. And I'm like, yes, I can. Because I can see my past life back there. I can actually see all my past lives. So, but anyways, so the 2nd to the 7th of August, what's our message collectively? Not all of you guys are going to be like, oh yeah, I connect with that. Of course not. Of course not. 2nd to the 7th. 2nd to the 7th is card. Oh, forgiveness. Absolutely. So forgiveness is so, so important. We can have people that have hurt us or betrayed us in whatever way. It's more important for you to forgive that person. We can all make mistakes, especially during Mercury retrograde. Oh my God, we can all screw up. We can all mess up. We all do, right? But at any time, we can forgive someone so you can move on. It doesn't mean, let's say, if, like this eclipse season, your relationship ends, let's say, you can forgive someone, but it doesn't mean you have to go back with that person. Past people come back, Mercury retrograde and the eclipse and such. You can forgive that person, like I just said again, so you can move on your own journey. But it doesn't mean you have to reconnect with that person again or get involved with that person. None of that, no. I have a big heart. I forgive people too, but some people, let's get together. No, thanks. No, thanks. So anyways, let me know what's going on with you guys. Now, if you want to book a clairvoyant reading with me, soulworkwithjenij.com. That's my new website. Make sure you book through there. And also, if you do have a story you'd like to share with me or something you'd like to talk about on my podcast, Soul to Soul Connections with Jeni Ji, reach out to me. The best way is to send me a message through my website because, social media, they can hide messages. I've looked back on certain messages I all of a sudden found, and I'm like, oh my God, that was a year ago. Somebody sent me a message like, Jesus, that's why this AI bullshit, they just feel they can rule over everything, which it's crazy. There's a lot of issues with that. So a lot of really good things with it as well. But for me, no, I use it for other things, but it's not for everything. You depend on that. Oh my God, you're going to be in trouble. So anyways, let's connect again on the next video. Make sure you tune into my podcast. I have some extraordinary guests coming on. Stay tuned. Namaste.